guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another preview show, our first show in a couple of weeks. This is the first division preview show here. So, Philip, thanks for joining me today.
Cheers, Keith. I'll tell you, that 2 weeks felt like 2 months, so delighted now, can't wait.
I know, but this week it seemed to fly. I don't know what it is. I just thought this week it kind of flew, but there you go. We'll get up to the first match anyway. The first match is Bray Wanderers and Shelbourne, Philip. Obviously, Bray are 10 points behind Shelbourne in the league. This is an opportunity for Bray to get a win and maybe move into the playoff zone. But Shelbourne, of course, are flying it, and the break probably didn't do them any good as such, did it?
No, I don't think so, Keith. Shells, as I said previously, I didn't think they were at their best, but they were still winning games and getting results on the board. And I think the same can be said for Bray, though, Keith, because they were starting to come into a bit of form as well themselves. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they obviously did have a couple of injuries, which probably does help with them coming back. So you kind of look at that on both sides of the coin. Look, Shells will be hoping to keep going from where they left off. You know, it's been pretty good so far, and if they can go and put more points on the board in this fixture, like, it'll just go to show that they're probably gonna finish top of the table. I know I said UCD a few weeks ago, but just as time has went by and I'm kind of reflecting on results, it's kind of looking more and more towards a Shells title rather than a UCD. If I was to call it, to be honest with you, with the way Bray have been, I would say it's probably going to be a draw, Keith, in my opinion.
Yeah, Bray, I mean, the last time they actually lost 2-0 to Treaty, 2 late goals, so they'll be disappointed with that, to be fair. They were on a good run before that, though. They won 3 on the bounce after loads of draws, etc. But I mean, Shelbourne are unbeaten still, 10 games, 7 wins, 3 draws. You never know. I don't know. I have a funny feeling Bray might win this, actually, Philip, which will open it up if UCD were to win the same weekend. If you like, maybe I'm just hoping it gets closer, if you know what I mean. But Bray are definitely more than capable of beating them on the day. There's no doubt about it. And as you alluded to there, you know, there were a lot of niggly injuries and stuff. Hopefully Gary Shaw's right now, a couple of weeks of looking after himself and the club looking after him or whatever. Bray could come out here. They drew 3-3 at Tolka Park as well. That was probably their best early season performance, to be fair. Bray as well. Brandon Kavanagh scored an absolute screamer in that game, actually, to be fair. But I think this will be tight again. Not so many goals, but I'm going to go for Bray, maybe for a little bit of a surprise win here.
Spicing it up straight off the bat.
Exactly, yeah. We're only back, so we have to spice it up a little bit. But Shelbourne fans will be out with their pitchforks now, I'm sure. But honestly, I do think Bray. Bray are well capable of winning this game. The feeling they might, you know. Where are we next? On to Cork City and Cabinteely now. Probably the 2 most unpredictable teams in the league. We've Cork in 8 and 9 points, 2 wins after 10 games. Cabinteely, 5 wins, 5 defeats, like bang in the middle there, 5th in the table, 15 points. But they could be Jekyll and Hyde because they kind of beat anyone and then they could get turned over by anyone. And we've seen that with them actually pretty much this season as well. So this is a difficult one. How do you see this one?
Yeah, well, I suppose if you're a betting man, this is like playing Russian roulette, to be honest with you, Keano, with both of these teams. Like, Cobh go and get beat like at home when they're 1-4 on. It just goes to show what they can be like. As for Cork, again, I said it a few weeks ago before the break, they can only play what's in front of them on the night, and they had been picking up points just before the end of the break, before the break rather. And look, this could go any of 3 ways. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a 4th with the both of them, to be honest with you. So I personally, I'm going to call this a draw. I think there'll be a few goals in it just off the back of how both teams have been defensively this season. So I'll probably go a 2-2 draw.
Interestingly, there's going to be fans of some of these games, and, you know, the way things are at Cork, does fans actually help them at the moment? I suppose you're going to get fans in, let's be honest, they're just going to be happy to be back and they'll support the team and they'll do all that kind of stuff. But if this result doesn't go right, I think very quickly they're going to get disgruntled very quickly about what they're seeing, because I know a lot of Cork City fans are not happy with what's going on at the moment at all.
Yeah. Look, and as we've kind of touched on it before, it is unfortunate what's happened with Cork, but again, you just have to question what's going on with how they're running that club, and you know, it's happened before. Now look, they've turned it, or not turned it completely around, but they have took a positive turn just before the break. Do you know what I mean? Getting a few results on the board, but from a club that was challenging for the league, the top division, a couple of years back to where they are now, it's been a big fall from grace, that's for sure. Look, the fans hopefully will turn around and get behind the team if they do, if they are in there. Like, do you know what I mean? I can see that being something that. But going back to what you said, this is a big result that they need in their season.
2 seconds, Philip. Billy, can you shut the door? Don't be telling people to ring the bell all the time, yeah? Yeah, just go into the sitting room for now. Yeah. Anyway, they were putting me off. I was kind of going, they'll shut the door any second. They'll shut the door any second. They'll shut the door any second. So it was just completely putting me off. So, yeah, I'll pick that up anyway there. I'll edit all that, obviously. But, yeah, I think this will be tight, Philip, as well. You went for a high-scoring draw. I actually think it'll be low-scoring, to be honest with you. I'm going to go for 1-1 here. I'm not sure if the natives are very happy with that. But one of the main reasons why Cork get such criticism is because of the size of the club, etc., and because of what we expect from them, and most fans would see that. But I'll go for a draw here. An interesting one. Galway United take on Athlone Town in Eamon DC Park. Only 3 points separating them in the table, Philip. Athlone started off like a house on fire, but suffered in the last number of weeks. The break probably done them good. Galway, you know, they've struggled really for what people expected from them, but they're not too far off the pace in reality. They're well off Shelbourne, but in terms of a playoff, they're right bang in there. So a win here would really get them right in there. They'll be disgusted that they lost 4-0 in their last match, and 2 weeks later they have to play. So how do you see this one?
Yeah, look, again, Galway, bag of mixed cats. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get with them. Like, it's great 1 week, it's terrible the next. And I think that was one thing we did not expect of this team throughout at the start of the season. Like, we thought they'd be really competitive, and they have been to an extent, but not to the degree we thought they might be. Again, Athlone, I think we both discussed it previously about a month ago or so, Keith. We thought this was kind of coming, that they were going to probably not run out of steam, but start to slowly but surely start to see points slip off the board that they probably would have expected to get on the board come the start of the season with how well they started. Yeah, again, it's going to be a tight game. I agree with you now, Keith, with the break for Athlone. I think that would have done them the world of good, you know, because there was a bit of a decline. So I think this is kind of an opportunity to get off to the right start again and try to get more points on the board. Look, again, I think it'll be a bit tighter, to be honest with you. You know, I think it's going to be one of the better games of the first division this weekend. And I'm going to go Athlone 1-0.
I'm going to go Galway. I think they might do enough here. I think they'll be disgusted after that defeat to Shelbourne. So they need to hit back here. I think they will. They'll nick a 2-1. Athlone, though, in fairness to them, the weird thing is they've fallen off a bit, but they've been actually playing quite well and creating chances. They've just been conceding maybe more cheap goals than they would have liked. So maybe after a bit of reflection, they look at it and say, look, we need to just steady up at the back here. Easier said than done, but you know yourself. But I think it's a tight game. I think if Athlone could win in Galway, it'd be a huge statement from their point of view as well, because it keeps another gap going there and it kicks them on a little bit, because they are third at the moment, but so tight. Galway for me, just about. UCD and Cobh Ramblers, we've got second, obviously, against ninth, and UCD are the top scorers in the league, and they've been flying this season. The one blip, I suppose, that defeat Shelbourne 3-1, but they caught Shelbourne maybe 2 weeks in a row. Shelbourne have been playing really, really well, scoring goals, so they caught them at the wrong time. But, you know, if Shelbourne were to slip up and they were to beat Cobh, you know, suddenly they're back in it again. How do you see this one going? Cobh have been hard to beat this season, despite being second bottom, though, in fairness.
Yeah, they've been hard to break down, you know, and again, I just think UCD, the quality of UCD will just shine through, you know. I actually love watching them. It's so strange. Like, I've not seen another team in the League of Ireland across the first division or the top division that I've actually said, you know, I actually can't wait to watch them. And I've been surprised at how much they've watched them, because they do play such a great style of football. And I said it again, going back to, I know I keep alluding to it, but a few weeks ago, they played some of the best brand of football that I've ever seen a UCD side play. And the fact that as well, Keith, that you mentioned previously, that they've shored up defensively. They're not conceding 4 goals and scoring 4 goals. It's vice versa each week. You just didn't know what you're going to get with them a couple of years ago. They're at the stage now where they're just really, really solid and really competitive. They've slipped up against Shells, but look, everyone's allowed an off night, and I don't think they'll go and put 3 or 4 past Cobh. I just think Cobh are a team that they're doing as well as they can with what they've got. And, you know, they've been really, really competitive for what I thought they were going to be since the start of the season. Another 9th, and it probably doesn't reflect how well they've played, but how resilient they've been in games. So I'm gonna go 1-0 UCD, and that's just off the hard working character that Cobh have.
Yeah, I'd probably go something like that as well. I'm going 2-1 though. I think the thing with UCD as well is that they've showed a lot of character in some of the games recently as well. They were 2 down and came back to win 3-2. And they've done that, I think, twice this season. They might have done it on another occasion, or at least came from 2 down to draw 2-2 or something like that. So I think they have that in their locker as well as the playing the good football. So with Cobh, they had a couple of players. They're missing like Pierce Phillips, which is a key player for them as well. And they were missing a few other players as well, Griffin up front and that. But yeah, they're a good side. They could easily get something here, but I'm going to err on the side of UCD, just about 2-1. Now, the last game in the first division, Philip, is Wexford against Treaty United. Obviously, Treaty United have been flying. They're on 16 points. Tommy Barrett's done a really good job so far. They've probably exceeded expectations. Wexford finally got their first win last week, which was great to see. And actually won it comfortably, 2-0 in Cabinteely. They could have had a few more. New manager Ian Ryan win, obviously, as well. He tightened it up in the last few games prior to that. How do you see this one going?
It's a tough one, Keith. You know, like Wexford finally got off the mark there, you know, and it was coming. I think since he's come in, you could see the ship kind of was starting to steady defensively. They weren't conceding as many goals before they went and got their first win. Look, they were full credit for it, like, you know, and like you can only see it going either back to the way it was before he came in, or else they continue pushing on and they get more points on the board. I think it's a difficult one, to be honest. I know I can't really wrap my head around it. Like I can't see them winning, but at the same time, they've been improving week on week since he's come in. So it could very easily continue.
I have a sense of Treaty. I have a sense Wexford won't lose this, actually, Philip. And I'll actually say they're going to win it, actually, Wexford. It should be 2 wins and a bounce, which would be mental. But I just think sometimes with a young team, when you do get a win, the confidence is either very high, or when you lose a few, your confidence is very low. There's never an in between there. So I just feel they're going to give it their all in this game, and I think they might have enough to beat Treaty in this game. Treaty have shown, though, that they've a lot of character. They're very resilient, as you said before there, and they're hard to beat. I think with the players they have, I think they're overachieving so far, if I'm honest, to be honest. Yeah. So, I think Wexford might nick this one. So, guys, we'll wrap it up there. That's the first division show. Thanks, Philip, for coming on. Guys, like the video, subscribe, hit your bell notification button, and that's it. Thanks, Philip.
Cheers, Keith.